we're just going to follow along from the previous chapter of our game objects. So I've opened up Unity and I'm just going to select game objects, which is the last project. So this is just a project to help you become familiar with game objects and how to move around in Unity and feel comfortable in the application itself. So what we want to do is select the cube in the hierarchy window. And we talked a little bit about the above tools to change Unity's dynamics in scale, position, and rotation of these three components. And we talked about the X, Y, and Z axis, and if you remember, red, green, blue, X, Y, Z, red, green, blue, X, Y, Z, red, green, blue, X, Y, Z. So what I'd like to do is show you another way that you can change things in the inspector window with your game object. So let's go ahead and scale this particular cube right here. Let's make it a uniform cube, and I'm just going to select the first scale, the X, and place 3, tab, 3, tab, 3. Now we have this uniform cube that, well, it's 2.3 here, so let's make sure that's 3. So we have a uniform cube now, and we can take a look at it. So let's talk about this moving around. Right now, I am holding my middle mouse, the little scroll wheel. I'm just holding it down and clicking and dragging. The right click kind of moves things around like this. I'm just right clicking the mouse. Now I can Alt and do a normal left click, Alt, normal left click, and I'm just holding everything down, holding the Alt key down, holding the normal mouse click down, and dragging the mouse. Now these can be done, like I said here, here's a hand, does the same thing as the middle mouse wheel. I want to take you, just take a peek at the grid lines, and you can see we are in a perspective view. When you're in a perspective view and you look far away, things kind of come to this like point at the end. So sometimes if you don't see that, you may have changed the view to isotopic, and isotopic just makes things flat. And in order to get out of that, just select that wonderful center little square and then use either your hand or your middle mouse to kind of move your cube. I'm actually using the middle scroll, just scrolling up, scrolling down, and it zooms in and out. Once again, if I have lost the cube, let's say I can't find it anymore, I select it in the hierarchy window, make sure that my mouse is in the scene view here, and then select F on the keyboard, and it just comes right into place. So we have scaled our cube to 3 units, and I just like to position it into a little spot because we're going to add another cube. So I want to position it in the X, 0, Y1, and Z, -3. So position, I'm going to do the same thing. X, 0, tab, Y1, tab, position, -3. And it just moves it to that area of the scene. So no, it just moved it over. That's all it did. So rotation, I'm going to put everything back to 0 right now. Because we want to make sure everything is set up correctly. Now I want to make a copy of this cube. I could create another cube by going to Game Object, 3D, Object, and Cube, but I really just want to make a copy. So I'm going to do a Control D as in duplicate, Control D, with that cube selected, Control D, and it just duplicates the cube and it's in the exact same position. So I'm going to move this particular cube a little away from that one and then maybe change the size of it. So I'm going to position it to X, the X-axis is 1, tab, and I think I'll put the other two at 0. And then I want to change the size of this cube. I'm going to put it back down to the 1 scale, the 1 unit scale. Remember, I go 1 tab, 1 tab, 1 tab. And I'm just going to hold my Alt key down and normal click. And now you see we have 2 cubes side by side. They're lined up with, if I were to select the cubes, you will see in here, check these numbers out, and it shows how they're lined up. All right. So this is what I want to do with these 2 cubes. I want to teach you about parenting or nesting objects so they move together. So I'm going to drag cube, the duplicate cube, right on top of the first cube till it highlights and let go. So what has happened is it has created these 2 cubes together. So if I grab cube number 1 and I decide I want to move this, they move together. If I only want to move the child cube, that's the one, that's the child. This is your parent, this is your child. This is a nested game object. So I would select the child cube and move it independently, as you can see. So we could do this even with rotation. You could rotate. So imagine possibly a solar system rotating around and a cube rotating around. So that's pretty much nesting and game objects, the simplicity of it.